Welcome to the start of our F1 2021 My Team Career Mode series, and we're just going to dive straight into this then and start things off. And we're going to see then, like we did with our previous series, we're going to do the 16 race calendar. That should allow us to hopefully get 3 or 4 seasons in this series, and we will rotate it each time so that we get to go to all the tracks, but I mainly cut out the ones that on this year's calendar, and also Abu Dhabi because I prefer Brazil as the finale. Now I'm excited to say that we're actually going to do full length races then for this, 100% race distance, so it's going to be a bit of a change from what we were doing before, but yeah, I'm really excited to do full length races for each race that we do. Our team name then is Sam F1. It's actually going to be Sam F1 Racing after the channel, of course, but yeah, obviously I'm sure we could work that one out. Here's our sponsor then. I was actually debating here between 2 of them here, and I figured that maybe it would be hard to do 5 points finishes with a shortened calendar, so I went with 5 points overall then. And we went with Renault for our engine, and now we're also going to go then with Christian Lundgaard as our driver, and we're going to sort of treat our team almost as like a Renault B team, I think. Obviously we are going to have quite a bit of funds left as well then, because we picked the cheapest engine, so that should help us then hopefully with factory upgrades sort of quite early on. We'll be able to do that a bit earlier than we would have maybe done if we'd gone for more expensive engines. That is good for us there then, and yeah, we're still going to do this. It's almost like a Renault B team, at least to begin with, but we may well change it as things go on. And yeah, here is the look then of our team and our logo. I actually think it looks pretty good in a kind of does, but compared to the one I did last season, it feels like I did actually put a bit more work into this one, and it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's like a combination of like 2017 Renault and 2000 Minardi, but I don't know, I think it kind of works. I think it looks not too bad, to be honest. I kind of just threw it all together last time around when I did this. But yeah, as I was saying, we can do some factory upgrades right from the start because I didn't really use all of my budget to begin with when setting up the team. So yeah, we can improve the build time then on the chassis upgrades. We're not going to try and get a chassis upgrade on the car because that's one of the areas that we're struggling on the most then. And we will also do a pre-season merchandise sale to get some more cash in as well there. So that was the car then that we're going to be hopefully taking up to the front of the grid over the course of this series, and obviously we're going to need some more upgrades then to do that. We're going to now get an aero upgrade on the car, and now we've only got about a week and a half until the first race, so you're going to do some driver training here then of Christian Lundgaard to improve all of his stats, and that's all we can do for now. So it's going to keep on fast forwarding time, and we don't have any upgrades yet on the car apart from what was already on to begin with. So yeah, we're just going to keep on fast forwarding time to our first Grand Prix weekend here then, the Bahrain Grand Prix. And here is the car then out on track. Also got a little quote there, I guess, from Michael Schumacher on the halo as well. And here is practice then. It didn't go too badly, I didn't think. Obviously this car isn't the best, but we were able to drive it and managed to do pretty well then in the practice programs in the end. This was the final one here then on Saturday morning, and we managed to pass it as well then with a purple, so this was all going very well here then, and you can see that we did perfect all the practice programs there then, so that's good. Gained some nice resource points, and you know, see then we unlocked a load of other development boosts here then. I'm going to skip some of these because there were so many that we managed to get here, so it's very good for us then, and that's knocked a lot of the price off. A lot of upgrades there, which is obviously going to help us a lot here. Some acclaim boosts then for us as drivers, and a big chunk there as well for us as a team, so already heading towards level 2 right from the off here, which is good. And we've also got now then some more resource points with some discounts as well to be able to do some more upgrades. We can already do 2 simultaneous aero upgrades, so we're going to make the most of that now. And we're also going to get an engine upgrade on the car as well then, despite the fact that we're apparently already ahead of Alpine. I don't know how that's happened, but we haven't upgraded our engine yet, but we're already ahead of the Alpine team and level with the Honda and Ferrari teams. I don't know how that's happened already, but we'll take it then, and yeah, keep on upgrading as we head now then into the team's first qualifying session. And like before, we're going to do the full knockout qualifying. I think for us as a team, we will be expected to be knocked out here in this first session, but obviously we want to put in a respectable effort here then against the likes of Williams and Haas, and maybe also Alfa Romeo as well then. And here's our first run then in Q1, and to the line it is a 1:27.7, which is quite way off there. We're slower than Schumacher, over a second slower than what Alonso had set there, and you can see we were down in 21st, but we were on a much better lap here than the second time round, nearly 4 tenths up here, well about 3.5 tenths up, and to the line we improved to 20th, only half a tenth behind Lundgaard, who is 18th, so it's all very close here down at the bottom. And we're out down then for our final run at the end of the session, and we'll see if we can actually leapfrog our teammate here potentially. We're a 10th up in the first sector, so it's been a good start to this lap, and we're just continuing to find time here through turn 10, and we just gained so much more there. We managed to just find something extra that time round that we hadn't been managing to find before, and we're on for a big improvement here. We have lost a little bit as we head into the final sector now, but this is still going to be a big improvement, nearly half a second up here then, as we've now just got the final corner to get through, and we'll see then if this moves us up. It should be quite close here with our teammate, so we'll see where it gets us then. And to the line, well, we are actually through to Q2 incredibly by only a few hundredths of a second there then. We were only a tenth faster than Lundgaard, who was 19th, so very close times here down at the bottom. Could be a very close back marker fight, but yeah, we've managed to get through then, first time of asking, into the second knockout session, so that is a lot better than we were expecting here. And yeah, I guess we're going to do Q2 now then. I didn't expect to have to use any tyres in Q2, so yeah, they were all worn out by the time I got to this session. So I mean, I was expecting to be 16th anyway, so this isn't really going to be much of a, well, it's not going to be a disappointment at all then. We're going to come to the line and it will be 16th place here then. Yeah, quite a few tenths off in the end of even what we did before in Q1, so yeah, that's what we were expecting there, I guess. Well, if we even did get to Q2, but I wasn't expecting to get there, so yeah, overall this is still a fantastic qualifying for us here, and yeah, a really positive start then to this team's yeah, journey in F1 here, as we get another big acclaim boost from that then, and we're already up to level 2, so that's good. I think it's level 5 when we can next get some more sponsors on the car, so that's what we're aiming for next then. And yeah, now we just got, well, we're back in the motorhome then before the race. 16th and 19th then is our first qualifying in Formula 1, which is, I think, pretty well going then out of the 22 cars, and we'll hopefully build on that then in the race, or see a good finish here then, even if it's not in the points, could be very good for us in the constructors. So yeah, we'll see what happens then. It's now time for the opening round of the 2021 season.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. Formula 1 returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Daniel Ricciardo and Perez, Vettel, Stroll, Gasly and Carlos Sainz, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon and Raikkonen, Ace, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi and Charles Leclerc, Lundgaard, Russell, Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
If you watched my last series, you'll know that I had a rule where I always followed what the team told me to do in terms of strategy. I'm not going to do that for this series, although for this first race I did decide to just go with what the team said, just because I don't really know what strategies are good or not on this game yet. So I decided just that we would just go with what the team say for this one. I am going to underfuel the car though, because you can't use rich fuel mix anymore, so there doesn't really seem to be much benefit at all from being overfueled or even having enough fuel just to last the race distance. You may as well just underfuel from what I've seen, and especially as we're likely to be lapped as well, so I'm almost certain that we're not going to need to have a full tank in the car. But yeah, we've already moved up to place then because of Leclerc having a grid penalty at race 1, which is a bit surprising. But yeah, we'll see what we can do then, as we're lining up here 15th on the grid for the team's first race in Formula 1. We've got the lights coming on now. And away we go then for the start of the 2021 season, and it's a fantastic start then. We've already passed Raikkonen and Ocon there off the line, so a very good start. We've got a nice bit of clear track up in front of us here as we break into the first corner. We've got Alonso on the inside there, Stroll sort of in the middle. We couldn't quite go around outside there, but we should have the inside line for turn 2 now then to keep those behind us. And we're running slipstream of Alonso here. He's going defensive. We'll go back to the racing line and see if we can run it around the outside. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that then, and we slot back in then to 13th position, but still a very good start here then. Obviously we're almost like the Renault B team here, and we've managed to split the two, well, I guess the main Renault team, which is of course now called Alpine. But yeah, we managed to split those two cars, so it's been a very encouraging start here then for us, as we're a bit further at the hairpin. And now Leclerc then, with that grid penalty, is already charging back through here. Obviously we were teammates back in our F1 2020 series. I wasn't expecting to encounter him on track this early on in this series, but well, there he goes then, past us already then, and into turn 11. It looks like Ocon is also going to follow him through here then. We're side by side here then up towards turn 12, still side by side here. He's gone a little bit wide I think, and we should be able to regain this one now then, and we do have the inside now then for turn 13 as well. So yeah, we managed to maintain our position there and stay in 14th, so yeah, an encouraging start, making up a couple of places, losing one of them back, but yeah, overall we've gone forward from where we started. Here's a replay then of the start, and we just had a very good launch there, and that put us in a good position towards turn 1. We weren't really at too much of a risk of getting involved in an instant there, despite being in the midfield. It was also a very good start there for Leclerc as well. Yeah, just passing a lot of the back marker cars there. A lot of dust being kicked up towards turn 1 from his perspective. And yeah, he almost got pinched there to the apex of turn 1, and then was a little bit hung up in turn 2, but still he managed to make up some places there. And then we see Ocon a little bit wide there through turn 7, and that's going to just allow Leclerc to run around outside then into the hairpin. We didn't get the best drive there, and he was straight onto us there then, going straight for the move here into turns 9 and 10, and managed to get that done then quite comfortably. Yeah, so he's already on a charge then to make up for that grid penalty. And now Kimi Raikkonen actually pitted at the end of lap 1, and this is why. But we passed Ocon there, and then they just sort of met in the middle there, and Raikkonen ended up with front wing damage. So not a good start to his season. And for us already then on lap 2, we've already had a DRS failure. I mean, DRS isn't even online yet, and we've already had a failure. So yeah, this isn't going too great then. Obviously a brand new team, so I guess these sort of technical difficulties are to be expected. But yeah, that'll be a bit frustrating then, because we won't be able to put up much of a fight then, as we've already got Giovinazzi now then overtaking us here then and moving himself up the field. We've got a good run here though, so we're certainly coming back at him. DRS is now enabled, but obviously we won't be able to use it. Down towards turn 1 then, it looks like we have just about got this done then. Back at the inside and back up to 14th position, but a little bit wide out of turn 2, and then just on the curb out of turn 3 we had a bit of a slide, and that's going to allow both Ocon and Giovinazzi to go through here then. And Christian is right there behind us as well then, waiting to pounce on any mistakes as well. So to have to watch out for him as well then, as Ocon and Giovinazzi are still battling here up in front of us. It looks like Ocon is just about going to come out on top here, as Giovinazzi almost lost it there, and that allows us to have another look at the inside, but no, he's managed to maintain that position then, and we are down to 16th place there. We'll have to see if we can stick with them, but obviously because we've had a DRS failure, we're just not going to have it here, so it's going to be hard for us to keep up down these straights, especially as Giovinazzi there had the DRS on Ocon, so that allowed him to pull away from us as well as catch up to Ocon. And yeah, this was very quickly then a bit of a problem here, and I decided that it was probably at this stage the best for the team to just allow Lundgaard to go through here then and see if he could go with them up at the front there, because he has DRS still, presumably. I haven't been told that he hasn't, and it did look like he was using it there, so yeah, we'll see if he can do anything else. As we got Pierre Gasly then off the road, so that's going to move us back up a position there then, and we're up into 15th and 16th in this race, so it's going not too bad for us at this stage then, but Gasly has had an issue as Schumacher's now actually on the attack with us then into turn 11, but I think we may just have done enough here then to hold on to this. We're going to have the inside line for the next two corners, so yeah, we're going to manage to hold him off there then, despite some massive understeer there in turn 12. As you see Gasly there, I think he was battling with one of the Alpines, I think it was Alonso, and he just went a little bit too deep, almost found the barriers there, but just about managed to stay out of it, and then was very cautious with rejoining, and yeah, that dropped him almost to the back of the field then, as we are on to lap 11 now, where we do finally have our DRS back now. So, well, we finally have DRS then, because we haven't yet had it then in this race, but we do have it now then. Lundgaard didn't pull away, so we're just going to go for it again now then and try and take this position back off of him, because he hasn't really done anything there up in front of us. I think just the pace isn't there really to live with some of those other cars, and we managed to get the move done now then, and we'll see what we can do. Unfortunately, we've actually compromised Lundgaard a bit there, so I'm going to be a little bit sneaky here and try and box Schumacher in a little bit up towards turn 4, and it looks like we managed to do it successfully then, and Lundgaard has managed to maintain his position there then, and we maintain our 15th and 16th positions here then. Here's a replay of the overtake. We were on the outside line, we went a little bit deep into the corner, but obviously we had the inside line then for turn 2, so that allowed us to still get the move done. That put Lundgaard out of shape, so yeah, I sort of realised my mistake there, and so I just made sure to not allow Schumacher to go around the outside there, just by getting a little bit slow myself, and that allowed us to maintain our positions there, and Schumacher a little bit out of shape behind us. We're now getting caught in for our first stop then on lap 15, I was looking at the wrong one there, but yeah, some cars already pitted them. We can already see Norris and Vettel have already had one stop, and they're still ahead of us, so yeah, that just goes to show really that we really are not on the pace of a lot of the midfield at the moment then. But yep, still very early days of course, and we're managing to keep the Williams and the Haas's behind us at this stage, so it's going very well for us so far. We're in the pits now then. Schumacher's also in behind us. Looks like Gasly has been in earlier, and so has, well, we already know that Raikkonen was in to replace his front wing on lap 1. Out of the pits we come now then, and Gasly is going to jump us then. That's to be expected, to be fair. He should probably run off now then and probably catch up the midfield during the rest of this race. And we are still ahead of Schumacher then, which is good for us there. As we see then, up in front of us there was a brief yellow flag, and it was because Nicholas Latifi there had a spin up at turn 4, and he managed to recover that then and rejoin the race, but yeah, a bit of a mistake from him there. We've got Mazepin and Russell in the pits, and I think Lundgaard's in as well, and we managed to stay ahead of all of them, so that's good for us there. Looks like Schumacher has actually gone undercut on Lundgaard, but interestingly our teammate has gone for the soft tyres here, so that's a bit of a strategy difference there, as Latifi has gone off again there, so that's 2 spins in 2 laps there for the Williams driver. But yeah, as I was saying, Lundgaard has gone for soft tyres, so split strategies from the team here, as we're seeing that replay of Latifi's second spin there, and yeah, he is having an absolute shocker so far in this race then. And yeah, unsurprisingly then, Lundgaard is on the charge now then. He's already passed Schumacher, and he's on the attack of us now then, down the pit straight on lap 19. We're going defensive here, but yeah, he may just sail right on the outside here. We're on the brakes into the first corner, and yeah, he's going around the outside here. That'll become the inside line for turn 2, and it looks like he's got it done here. We're on the curb, and we've actually lost it there and spun it round. Almost hit Schumacher, but Mazepin has gone into the back of Schumacher, and that's his race over there, and it's going to be a safety car then, because yeah, that Haas is right in the middle of the track. and yeah, Mazepin then out of the race, and I guess that was all somewhat caused by us there. Then we had a bit of a spin there battling with Lundgaard, and we've dropped down to 19th then, so that certainly hurt us a bit there. We see then Christian then round the outside of us into the first corner, and that became the inside line for turn 2, and we just let the rear tyres then on the curb. We're going to see it now. Yeah, we almost hit Schumacher there, and then I would have thought Mazepin could have avoided that, but I mean, it's Mazepin, so yeah. But yeah, we see it on board from him, and well, it does look like he could see what was going on there, but just decided he was going to just charge into the back of his teammate. So, well, that's Mazepin for you, I guess. And he is out of the race, and we had a brief safety car there. Raikkonen actually pitted for a second time there for the soft tyres, and Latifi has already dropped a lap down in this race and hasn't recovered that lap. So yeah, he is well out of the equation now then. So yeah, it's just Raikkonen behind us then that we have to worry about really. And well, we are going to have to worry about him then, because we've let up the rear tyres that are out of the final corner, and he's going to be right onto us now then down the pit straight. We're not going to be anywhere near Russell here. It's just going to be defending from Raikkonen, but the yellow flags are out again, and Raikkonen has just charged past about 3 cars here, but yeah, he apparently seems to have got away with it then, and he's not getting the positions back. So we're down to the back of the train at the moment. Obviously we've got Latifi nearly a lap behind us, and I think that was what caused the yellow flags. I think he just slowed down to just let the whole field through there, and that caused a brief yellow flag. We can see him now then still letting everyone through here. So yeah, we just lapped the next car then that's behind us. So yeah, we're not really worried about losing any more positions then, I guess, in this race. But yeah, things are starting to unravel a little bit for us then. But I don't know how Raikkonen got away with this then. He overtook 3 cars there when there was a yellow flag out. But yeah, he never got a penalty for that, so just somehow managed to get away with that one. But yeah, on to lap 24 then, where we're still in 20th position, but there's more yellow flags out, and we're going to move up a place here then, because Fernando Alonso on his return to Formula 1 hasn't made it to half distance here then. His car looks to have given up on him there, and he is out of the race. So hopefully that's not a sign to come for any other Renault powered cars in this race, but certainly he's out of it at this stage then. As we're now looking at Russell then trying to pass Schumacher, he's also on that different strategy then with the soft tyres, whereas Schumacher is on the same strategy as us then, so it looks like we're going to be racing with him then, certainly for a lot of this race. Russell then couldn't quite get it done there, and we got a good run on both of them, so it's going to be 3 wide here then, because Russell also had DRS there as well. We're on the inside, Russell's on the outside, and it looks like we managed to pass the pair of them then and move ourselves up to 17th position there. So quite an ambitious move, but we managed to make it stick then, and we'll see now then if we can go after both Raikkonen and our teammate Christian Lundgaard here then. Interesting that they went with split strategies for us there, but I guess Lundgaard may well be on a 3-stop here, so he may well be pitting an extra time and then come back to us later on. So I mean, if we can stay within now, or I was going to say if we could stay within now, but we're going to have to watch out behind us, because Russell's not done yet, and he's managed to repass us then into 10-11 there, and he's back up to 17th. So yeah, these cars on soft tyres, they're going to certainly be a bit of a pain here to deal with, and yeah, we're going to have a bit of a tough time, I think, keeping up with all of them. But we're back now then in DRS range of Russell, and we've got a fantastic run down the pit straight, and we should get this one done then quite comfortably towards turn 1. On the brakes, we've actually locked up a bit though and gone deep, so that's going to allow Russell to have a chance to get back at us here then. Running outside in turn 2, and we're still side by side. I think he is going to have DRS here then up towards turn 4. We certainly don't have it, so he must have it then, and he's on the inside line. We're going to try and run around outside if we can here, and it looks like we're just about ahead. We're going to try and squeeze him because he's still having a very good run here, and it looks like he has just about managed to get through. But yeah, we certainly tried to squeeze him, but yeah, he wasn't backing out of that one, and he managed to make the move stick then, move himself back up to 17th. So yeah, some very good battling there going on for a couple of laps. Here's the 3 wide moment that we managed to all get through unscathed, and a little bit of wheel banging I think there, but we managed to not get any damage there thankfully. Schumacher just completely compromised here then, with the 2 of us behind both having DRS there, and yeah, he managed to give us both space there, so fair play to him for that. But he ended up losing both places there in the process. And then we went deep into turn 1 on the next lap while we were still battling with Russell, and that allowed him to get back at us there then up towards turn 4. And I really tried to force him out here then and try and put him off going for a move, but he wasn't having any of it, and he continued to go for it. and move himself up a place then, up to 17th. More yellow flags up in front of us, and Kimi Raikkonen is out in almost the exact same spot there as Fernando Alonso, so that's going to move us up another position then, up to 17th in this race. Only 19 cars now remaining in this race, and it's looking pretty good here for us at this stage then as a team. 15th and 17th is certainly, you know, something that we would have taken then going into this race probably, as we are still then fighting with Russell. Lundgaard has started to pull away from us quite a bit as we've been battling, but yeah, we're still keeping Russell in our sights here, and we're going to pass him here once again then towards turn 1. We're up the inside, and we are back through then into 16th position. We'll see if we can keep him behind this time then, as he is still right there behind us. He's going to have a good run here up towards turn 4 with the DRS, but we managed to just about do enough here then, using our overtake there to maintain our position there and stay in 16th. Here's a replay of that one then, and it was Russell's turn this time then to give us a bit of a squeeze there, but this time we were the one who didn't back out, and we were ourselves up then to 16th. As we now got Giovinazzi and Lundgaard in the pits on lap 32, so are they going for a 2-stop as well here, but pit in earlier? We'll have to wait and see then, but yeah, it's sort of in the middle there really, between potentially a 2-stop and a 3-stop. Well, Lundgaard's on medium tyres there, so he could well be trying to go to the end here then potentially. We'll have to wait and see, but well, they may just have got the strategy right on the other side of the garage there potentially, if we can't catch back up to him. As we've got Schumacher now then on the back of us, and unfortunately at this stage I had a problem with my force feedback. It just completely died, and I just had no pace at all here then, and had to just allow Schumacher to go through there. And then, well, just after this I reset my wheel, and thankfully I was able to well, it came back thankfully, the force feedback, and yeah, I was able to go back on the attack of Schumacher, because I think if it hadn't come back there I would have had to retire probably, because I had absolutely no feel for the car at all there, and I was just very gently getting the car through the corners, and yeah, I certainly couldn't have driven that way through the remaining 20 laps or so, but we did thankfully at least get back past Schumacher here. And then we've got Stroll here coming through then on his 2-stop here, and I was meant to pit on this lap, but I decided at the last minute that I was going to stay out here then and see if I could extend this stint and go for soft tyres at the end, in the hopes of coming back to the likes of Lundgaard and Russell later on here, as we've got a great run here on Stroll, but I don't think I'm actually going to be able to complete this move. But still, we had a great run there with DRS, and yeah, it was nice to have a bit of a, you know, nice free, you know, DRS and stretching there down the pit straight. That could well help us here then a little bit. And I said I was going to try and extend the stint, but I gave up after one lap when I realised that it wasn't really going to work there. And yeah, we're now then in for our second and final stop in this race, and we'll see then where we are in comparison to Mick Schumacher. Hopefully we haven't just blown it there by staying out a lap longer than we needed to, but well, even if we do, then we will at least have a lap fresher tyres then later on potentially to fight him with, as other pits began then after 1.8 stop there by our team, and Latifi's gone back through then to unlap himself, and we have just about done enough here then to keep Mick Schumacher behind us, so that is very good for us. And we'll now see if we can keep him behind then for the final 20 laps of this race. He's very close behind us, but we're doing just about enough then this time around to hold him off here then, and we'll just have to see if we can try and pull away now then in the remainder of this stint. On to lap 44, where we've still got then Schumacher just behind us, but you can see that Lundgaard and Russell are both just, yeah, they're out of reach at this stage. It doesn't look like the gap's going to come down to them at all here, so it's probably going to just be a race here with Schumacher I think for 17th, and we've got to say fair play to Lundgaard there for getting the strategy right on his end. Schumacher is attacking us here into turn 11, we're going to be side by side, but he's got the move done here then, so we'll have to try and follow him here then through these final few corners and get DRS here then down the pit straight. And yep, Schumacher then up to 17th, and as I said, I think this is going to be our battle now then for these final 13 laps here then. Schumacher's going very defensive there towards the final corner, so we're just going to run outside here, and we're actually going to get the move done into the final corner there. We didn't even wait for the DRS in the end, but we get it anyway to pull away, so that's very good for us there. But yeah, don't often see overtaken there. As we skip a few laps now then to, well, we've only got 10 laps to go, and I was thinking, oh no, because our engineer was telling us about a potential issue here, even though nothing was shown there on the MFD, but I was worried that we were going to start to see a potential issue here developing, so I was really on edge here then, hoping that we weren't about to lose the engine here or be told to pull over, and we're now getting told there's an ERS issue, and the issue actually was that I couldn't disable the overtake button. Obviously you can't see here, but I was trying to disable it, and it just wasn't happening. And you can see that I'm still using overtake. Obviously you can't see that I'm trying to disable it, but that's certainly what I was trying to do, but I couldn't. So we're now just going to be wasting our energy where we don't want to use it, and that could really put us under threat here then down the DRS straights here potentially. And yeah, I was just hoping that we could just pull away when we were using it, and well, thankfully we did. Only a little bit later managed to disable it eventually, but yeah, we used up quite a lot of overtake there, so we could be under threat this time down the pit straight. So yeah, that was a little bit of a worrying issue there, but thankfully it doesn't seem to be an issue in terms of ending our race here, and we should hopefully be able to keep Schumacher behind. It's very close here towards turn 1, but we've done just about enough this time then to keep him behind, and we maintain 17th position then for the time being. But yeah, some nervy moments there then for us. It was looking like there could be quite a big issue there developing, but yeah, we're just about holding on then for the time being. Less than 10 laps to go. We really just want to bring it home at this stage, and for some reason Schumacher decided to really lose pace after that then. Managed to build up the gap to 3.5 seconds at this point then with just 5 laps to go, and I was really hoping here that I could stay on the lead lap, because it'd be so good if we could have both cars then finish on the lead lap then in our first race. But sadly it wasn't to be then. On the penultimate lap, which obviously became the final lap for us, the two Mercedes and quarters up, just a few corners from home here then for them, and they were very close then to each other still. Hamilton just about holding off Bottas, and Verstappen was right there as well, so a very close race then between the top three, although I guess that was also helped, I guess, by the safety car as well at mid-distance. So yeah, that probably put them a bit closer together, but still very close there up in front of us. And yeah, for the Sam F1 racing team, it's a very positive start for us then. We're going to be 15th and 17th in our opening race here, so both cars to the finish then. We managed to beat the Williamses then and the Haas's here today, and a couple of others who retired as well. We crossed the line then. It's 17th in Bahrain.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Lewis Hamilton kicks off his quest for a record-breaking 8th world title with a win at the opening round here then in Bahrain. Just 0.6 of a second in the end from his teammate Valtteri Bottas, and Max Verstappen was less than 2 seconds behind at the checkered flag, and he set the fastest lap of the race there. Ricciardo very strong on his McLaren debut there, I should say, there up in 4th, splitting the two Red Bulls there with Perez 5th, and Vettel there 6th on his first race for Aston Martin, and Yuki Tsunoda scoring points on his F1 debut there for AlphaTauri, with the two Ferraris rounding out the points finishes. Lundgaard there up in 15th for the Sam F1 racing team, which is obviously very good for us there, and we were there in 17th as well, so just good to see both cars then manage to take the checkered flag here then. We had 3 retirements in the end: Fernando Alonso, Kimi Raikkonen and Nikita Mazepin all failing to finish there. In the driver's standings then, obviously it's just the results from today's race, but with a point extra there for Max Verstappen for that fastest lap. And then the constructors, Mercedes lead the way, but we're looking further down here, where we're 9th then after our first race, ahead of the Williams and Haas teams there, so a very positive start for us. So that wraps up a very positive weekend for us as a team then. We managed to gain quite a lot of acclaim there, both as a team and for the drivers as well. We're up to level 3 already, so it's been a very positive start for us there then. And yeah, we're up to level 2 then nearly for us as a driver. We had a little bit of damage deductions there. I guess that was maybe floor damage because I didn't break any front wings during the race or the weekend. And yeah, overall then we're looking pretty good in terms of money at this stage as well. And yeah, that's going to wrap things up then for this first episode of F1 2021 My Team Career. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, really appreciate a like on the video and look forward to seeing you next time.